the flex, bumping Justin Bieber, the fever, head left, she know what she need, or she blessed, giving you my best, yeah, I got my heart on my sleeve.
Hello everybody, and welcome to another MX Bikes video. And today, guys, we're gonna be looking at the A-Kit bikes. Okay, there's a brand new update to them, and we got some new things done, some things that were done that have never been done before with this bike pack, and I can't wait to ride these, review them, see how they feel mostly. But boys, these bikes, just to give a disclaimer, they're all basically the same, but different at the same time. They all have different like chassis weight locations, so they all feel different, but they're basically the same. So there's no meta bike. That's how we design them. Hit that sub with that like button or get right into this video. Shout out Scrallox, single developer made these bikes, single guy. Well, is he single? All right, boys. So before we even get into riding these bikes, I have to show you guys a couple key things. All right, I know you guys all want to watch me ride them. Just hang tight for a second here, okay? So first of all, there's two categories in this pack. You have MX1, you have MX2. So we're going to go to MX1 first. Obviously, it's a bunch of different 450s. So you got all the normal stuff, and then you got the Beta, you got the Ducati, and then we got the Triumph down here. Everything else is pretty regular. You also have the Starkvarg, which we're going to test in this video as well at the very end. And then we also have MX2. And then MX2 is fairly similar. You just don't have the Starkvarg. You still have the Beta, Ducati, Triumph. Everything's similar. Everything's modeled to be a 250. It's sick. This pack, boys, let me tell you something. There's a couple other secrets here. And one of those secrets, guys, is actually in the bike paint section. So we have the base bike paint on right now, but you have a bunch of options. Now, there is a key on the MXV mods post that tells you what all of these, letters mean right here. So the first section here is going to be for your bar. Obviously, we want a fat bar, guys, because we're not a pussy. All right, get the fat bar on there. Get the AK, that stands for Akaprovic or whatever the hell this brand is. If we want FMF on there and handguards, you click on this. Look at that. We got handguards. We got FMF. He just makes it customizable, guys. This is not something I've seen done in this game really at all. I think the factory guys did this, but maybe not. Maybe I got dementia or something, but he's doing it. It looks sick. He has this on every bike. It's a great addition, and it just makes things very quick to customize. You don't have to go download model swaps. You just click it, it's done. The bike paint is on there. It's fire. The next secret is actually what's in the setups here. He's got preset setups. I had this idea a while ago. I'm just surprised no one's done it. I'm surprised OEM team didn't do it. I'm surprised Factory team didn't do it. This is genius because this is one of the biggest questions that content creators get asked is what is your setup? I hate answering it because I can't obviously just give you the entire script of the setup, right? It just takes too long. So it's good to have presets, and I think if you're going to make a bike in this game, if you can do this, find a preset for both disciplines. I think that's awesome. Scrallox did it. It's a massive W. But now we're going to put it on MX. We're going to get into this game. I'm going to turn my controller camera on. My screen's going to be black for a second here. And we're just going to get right on these bikes. Did not mean to do that. I'm going to adjust my camera position real quick with Shift-C. There we go. That's usually where I run it. We are on the Beta 450 to start. Obviously, default MX setup that you guys saw I put on there. And we're going to put this bike to the test instantly, okay? Putting it on one of the more rough motocross tracks in this game. So we're going to see how it fares here. I'm not going to obviously ride it super hard. But if it can survive this track, then I think we got a pretty good product here. And I did get 4th overall in the pro race, so it's not like I can't ride the track if anything does go wrong. Now, I've ridden the bikes a little bit before recording this video. I'm not completely fresh on them. I've ridden the previous versions, obviously. And I've ridden a little bit today in Scrallox's server, actually, the guy that created these bikes. So we're just going to be testing them today. I'm going to be talking about what I like, what I don't like. It's not going to be crazy in-depth analysis, but basically just seeing how these bikes ride and if I like them or not. And at the end of the day, guys, it doesn't matter what my opinion is. It matters what your opinion is. So please go to the download link in the description, download them and test them for yourself. Don't just take what I say as gospel. I've had people do that in the past. And yeah, I don't like that. So please get on the bikes and ride them. Just because the Jan said it, just because Troyjannn, big YouTube guy, said this bike good or this bike bad, doesn't mean you have to believe the same thing. All right, be your own person and treat Scrallox with respect. If he treats you now, and listen, if Scrallox is being a little bit of an asshole, all right, I'll give you guys permission to be meanie poopy heads to him. But if you're nice to Scrallox, usually he's nice to you. But so far, bike's riding pretty damn good, I'm gonna be honest. One thing that I do like just right off the bat is how easy it is to get the front wheel up. That is something that sometimes I struggle with other bikes in this game and just in the past. I like to be able to get that front wheel up. All right, I feel like that's more realistic, and it shows you that these bikes got some power to them. How's it gonna work in that section? Wow, the uphill physics, boys. Oh my god. Let me tell you something, boys. That uphill physic there, I don't know what that was. Other than perfection, you can't have a better uphill physic. That literally was perfection. Zero swaps, nothing. Now, in real life, you would swap up that hill. It is pretty damn steep. Even Hayden Deegan was losing traction. So, is it realistic? No, it's not realistic, okay? My throttle control is not that good. But if you're a newer player, and listen, I'm not saying these bikes are for new players. I'm just saying, if you're a newer player, that is a mechanic that you're going to like. Because, you know, the hill physics in this game, or just when you're losing the back tire going up a hill, it's tough, okay? These bikes, at least so far with that lap, didn't feel like there was much loss of traction on the hills. And just in general so far, it doesn't feel like the bikes lose a ton of traction in many situations. Now, I haven't pushed the bike super hard yet. It definitely feels like they got really good grip on them, though. I'm not losing the back end really at all. A little bit there, obviously going over bumps. I'm gonna try to go through this inside right here. Wow, front end's very stable. The bike just feels stable. That's kind of my word right now to summarize the thing. It just feels very stable under me. It doesn't feel like it's gonna crash. Doesn't feel like the front's gonna tuck. Dude, I like the setup, though. Setup is very good, and dude, it rails the corners. Like, I haven't put many laps on this freaking thing, and the laps I did put on it were on a pretty easy track, and then I rode a supercross track for a little bit. But I have not taken it to a rough motocross track yet, and I'm already barking. These bikes are, dude, I'm not gonna lie, they feel like they have tire hacks, all right? They do. Listen, the Jann's gonna be truthful. They feel like they got tire hacks. Which, you know, honestly, I don't really mind it, because I'm not that good at the game sometimes, and these bikes, I'm not gonna lie, they're making me feel like I'm real good. So if you struggle to get around the track, get on the bikes, boys. Get on the A-Kitties. Can I land this, though? Oh my god. Alright, let's see if I can beat my lap time. Come here, Ghost. That was a pretty good lap I ran there. It's gonna be tough to beat it. I was not expecting to get on these things and just bark instantly. They feel very forgiving. I'm gonna go outside here. Let's see. Oh, and the collisions, bro. They used to have this weird clipping with the foot pegs, and I absolutely hated it. A lot of people did. That seems to be completely fixed now. I mean, they just get over in the turns, and they stay over. All right, let's see if we can beat our Ghost here. Dude, I love jumping into that corner. A little bit of a front end swap there, obviously expected, because that was a very aggressive move that I made. Bottom suspension there, but the bike didn't freak out. Pulling off the track, that was a bit naughty. Taking some naughty lines, my bad. Come here, boy. Oh no. Little collision there. Makes sense, though. That's actually something I'm really surprised about, and I do like a lot, is how they ride ruts. They don't have that weird foot peg collision. And that was something that, honestly, that little aspect alone pushed me away from these bikes. The previous versions. Did not like that. Okay, losing the back end a little bit there. So it's not like you're not losing it at all. So I do stand corrected a little bit. But I will say, going up hills, especially if you're a newer player, these bikes will help you a lot. Or if you just hate the uphill physics, and I know there's some people that don't. And not to compare them to the OEMs, because I don't want to make a video comparing these bikes to the OEMs, but, you know, the OEMs, they have gotten a lot better over the years with getting up hills, and I mean, I don't think I had any issues getting up that hill in the 2 pro races I did on this track, so it's not like, you know, the OEMs or the, you know, factory bikes, whatever bike you want to say, is bad at getting up hills. This is just the best I've seen at getting up a hill. But again, I have to reiterate, it's not realistic, but, I mean, it's fun to, like, just... I mean, I'm just on rails, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I should be on rails, but... Okay, almost dude, even there, like, I thought I was dead. The bike just forgave me for some reason. I bought its mom some flowers or something. I don't know why it forgave me. It decided to do it. Even there, I don't deserve to live, I don't think. But honestly... I don't like crashing, so I might be on these bikes more often, brothers. I don't want to crash. Dude, oh my scrubby. It kind of just floats over the bumps. That's something I don't really like, but it might just be the setup is that good. I honestly can't tell. Like, the suspension feels stiff, but it's not acting like it's stiff. This is where I try to get too deep with it, but, like, I'm just not smart enough to do that, so I'm not going to continue that conversation. The bikes just feel good. Like, I don't know. Like, are they realistic? I wouldn't say they're that realistic. But is that a bad thing? I don't know. I don't think so. It's freaking MX bikes at the end of the day. You know, he didn't make the A kits to be the most realistic of realistics. Now, as far as suspension and dynos and all that stuff, I'm not going to talk about that because I don't really know anything. So, I'm just talking about how the bike, you know, it moves in-game. It just feels a little bit too forgiving, but the way the bike moves, it whips, everything feels great. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. I don't know. I'm trying to find things to critique, but my critique is the bike is actually a little bit too good. So, I don't know if that's acceptable. I don't know if people are going to say I'm getting paid for this. The bike is just good. Like, I don't know what to say. It just, like, I don't know. It's just fast. It just gets through, like, see how it just does it? Like, I didn't even do anything. I just, like, rode. I don't know what's going on. We're gonna go to Supercross, boys. All right, guys, we're now in Supercross. We're also on a 250 now. I did run a couple laps before hitting the record button on Supercross just to see what was going on. Honestly, just much of the same. I do love these setups that he's given us. One of the things that I do love about how this bike interacts with the Supercross track is how it takes off from the lips of the jumps. It feels like the suspension is really springing you up. It almost feels like you're seat bouncing every time, which is what I kind of do with my rider weight. I lean back and then lean forward off the jump face. So obviously when you lean back, you're compressing that back suspension. Then when you lean forward right before you leave it, the suspension is, you know, rebounding or, you know, decompressing. My brain can't find the words to describe that right now. I'm an idiot. Anyways, you're basically just unloading the suspension off the jump, and that puts you high in the air and you go farther. That's why people seat bounce in the rhythm section. So, but I actually get that feeling with this bike, and that's a cool feeling. That's a feeling that I like. It reminds me of MX vs. ATV Alive. It doesn't really work in the same way, but that feeling of, you know, those old arcade motocross games where you would seat bounce and just get that extra, you know, that extra bounce. So that's something I do feel with these, and you can obviously scrub that off. If you just scrub the jump, you're not going to get that same feeling. But if you go straight on, give that suspension the most travel, it gives you that pop off the face, and I do enjoy that a lot. Now, another thing I wanted to analyze here was the whoops. Because these bikes, since day one with Scraps, they've just not been very good in the whoops. And still, we kind of have this issue where it just kind of feels springy in the back, like the back kicks you. But then I say that, and then this whoop section, I hit it just fine. So, it's kind of this interesting... It's an interesting situation. It's like the bike takes everything else pretty easy, like cornering and just hitting these rhythm sections. Like, it's not super hard, but then the whoops is tough. Now, I personally, I don't dislike that because I think hitting the whoops in this game has been too easy ever since the Beta 18 update, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think that's a negative. I think new players are going to dislike that feeling, though. That would just be my prediction. I can't say for sure. But overall, I mean, there's no issues with the bike. It corners great. It corners sharp. I don't think I've gotten a single front tuck yet. So that I would say would be the big difference, just to compare them to the OEMs a little bit. Can I get this quad with seat bounce? No, I cannot. I'm not sure if I've ever hit that quad on a 250 before. But, I mean, bikes feel freaking good, and you can see there, like, I'm getting some weird bounces, but it's not, like, unrideable. You can still ride the whoops. It just kind of kicks you around. It gives you a bit of a ride through the whoops, and that's how it should be, all right? You should never hit the whoop section and be just ba-da-da-da-da every single time. You want to be kicked around a little bit, because that's what Supercross is. Even the best in the world in real life, they don't, you know, they don't always get through them clean, okay? So, yeah, that's my analysis on the bike. I mean, not a super long video, nothing too crazy. I do want to get on the star card, but as far as these normal bikes, the ones with the gas in them, they feel pretty damn good. The tires got a decent amount of grip. The front end just doesn't really tuck. But feel good. Feel forgiving. Again, I'm not saying they're for the new player. I don't want people to leave this video thinking, "Hey, kits are only for the new players." That's just brain dead, bro. I'm gonna be honest. That's a brain dead way to think. Get on these bikes. Have fun. I'd like to see servers on these things. I'm not exactly sure how we can get that to happen. Maybe we can create a server on mxbraces.com that has A-kits on there, and I could promote that. I'm not sure. We'll see if I keep enjoying riding these things. But in the meantime, let's get on this Stark Varg, and let's see how the electricity is flowing through the A-kits, boys. All right, boys, Varg time. Gotta test it, because it's in the pack. Gotta freaking test it. What's going on here with this thing? Front tuck. Oh, my goodness. That's probably because I was in third person. Is that like the first front tuck? I honestly don't remember. Yo, okay, listen, the tires, as much grip as they do have in a straight line and in corners, dude, hitting the brakes feels so good in the corners. Listen, look at this. You just G-slide into them, bro. That's actually fire. Okay, let's test this thing out. It feels heavy, which I've heard that the Stark Varg is a heavier bike than a modern 450F. Oh my Johnny, it does have power. Let me tell you something. I'm on the MX setup, so I'm not sure if this is plaid mapping mode or not. I'm actually going to check that right now. It is in plaid. So obviously you have beginner, normal, ludicrous, and plaid, which is the... I'm pretty sure that's the Tesla modes. That's not actually what the modes are called on the Stark Varg in real life. I don't think. I'm pretty sure alpha is the highest mode, but he also owns a Stark Varg, so maybe I am tripping off of ketamine right now. Anyways, let's try to do a lap here without me yapping and then going back to the pits because I'm stupid. Okay, you do get some collisions in the corners with the, feels like the foot pegs. This bike feels different. Maybe I'm wrong with this. It actually feels quite unique from the 450. You know, it's just because it has so much power and zero engine braking. Well, it does have a little bit of engine. Actually, does it have engine braking? Let me test this real quick. It really doesn't. Okay, let's finish this lap. I'm just going to go all out on this thing. I don't know if I can go all out. It's a little too fast. Oh, God, I'm dead. Oh, wait, no, I'm not. Suspension on the... Dude, the suspension on these bikes is gnarly, bro. Like, it's so good. Okay, Jan, I'm so stupid. All right, let's get going again. Let's get schmoving. Absolutely railed. Slow into this, hit this rut. Watch me jump down into this. Bank off of that. Bikes are fun, dude. These bikes are freaking fun. Okay, let's see the whip. Okay, I haven't really talked about the whips yet. Oh yeah, you can whip them. Let me tell you something. They do pass the smees. They do pass. It's so late at night, guys. I'm so sorry. They do pass the Schmees test. All right, they do pass that indeed. Bikes has tons of power. Whip's great. And yeah, that's the A-Kit Jan dummy review because I just had fun with them. Because listen, this game's fun, and that's all it's about at the end of the day. Sometimes you just shouldn't take it as serious. So the bikes are fun. That's my critique on them. They're honestly a little bit too good. But that's just me. You guys have to test them yourself. Down link in the description. If you guys do not test these bikes and you form an opinion, you are stupid. You're an idiot. Bye-bye.